Rambler Man Moto here. Boy, it was a heck of a morning and an early afternoon trying to get out the door. Why is that? You know, last season, riding season, at the end of winter, I put all my gloves, head coverings, cables for heated gear in one spot, I thought. And for the life of me, I could not find them all today. It's just so frustrating when that happens. And then, of course, they were right in the vicinity of the first place I had looked. But anyhow, I got out the door finally. I'm trying some new gear on. I've got some, I guess it's pronounced Axial boot liners and an Axial base layer jacket. Last season I had bought the pants, and so I'm wearing that underneath. No heated gear. And the other challenge I'm having is due to the change in the weather. Now I've got this windscreen on to test that, and it gets hot quickly with no wind coming on you. And you know, I've got that visor down that you can see, and it's fogging up. Now I took out the breath guard in this helmet. No, I take that back. I'm looking down, the breath guard's in. I must have taken it out of another helmet, or I had a spare one. I saw one there and I thought it went to this helmet. So the breath guard is in there, I think. It was fogging up even when I had it cracked a little, the helmet visor. And the other challenge I'm going to have is, I bet as I go back to look at the recording here, that this vent is going to be right in the line of sight. And last year when or maybe it was this year, maybe, that when I got this windscreen for this bike, well, it had to be this year. I've only owned the bike since the day after Christmas. And I played around with adding some extensions to get the camera up to about right here, so that the camera could look over the vent. And I put it back to where it was because I preferred it here. And now that winter has hit, I've got a decision to make about whether I'm going to add another layer to this attachment. Let's see. Yeah, it's the sun visor that is fogging up a little. And I've got my top vent in the helmet open to try to help with that. I do believe that vent helps with some of the head buffeting. Now when I get over 65, I can start to feel it. And by the way, today is a very windy day. It said that wind gusts were up to 20 miles an hour right before I left. I'm headed back to Gordonsville just as a destination, and I have not eaten all day, and it's after 2 o'clock, so I'm going to ride there, and there's a restaurant there that someone recommended to me from one of the forums I'm on. So I've seen that restaurant, I've rode by, so I'm just using that as an excuse to get out. I think the temperature has hit 59 to 60. I'll see if I can check here on the bike quickly what it says. 59 degrees, and I am right now very comfortable with the combination of these base layers, the gloves on that cover the jacket cuff, and this windscreen. I did bring my heated jacket in my saddlebag, but I don't think I'm going to need it. Now, if I was riding at night, I may need it. My least favorite is the heated pants. It's just, they kind of get all puffed up and makes putting things on underneath it. I'm actually sweating inside the helmet, which I don't do even during the summer. Whew. Get some air. I know that some people say that they ride with their visor open in the winter. Or, I'm sorry, they open it when they're behind a windscreen. Let's see. I don't know if I could do that completely. You know, I've seen people complain that this helmet visor doesn't stay up at speed, but I don't think that I've ever had an issue. I don't like exposing this tinted visor. It's not the easiest thing to clean off. Yeah, once I get over about 60, 2 to 3, I feel, you know, some buffeting at the back of my head. I still don't know if this vent in the front is a gimmick or not. I think it's helping. It may also just be helping, obviously, to get some wind on me. But overall, this has been the best solution for me. I've remarked in the old videos I made when I was testing this thing, is that to me, I really have trouble remembering like what version 1.0 was like. So you got with and without a screen. I've tried different brands of screens. I've tried different heights of screens. You know, in a perfect world, you could just swap them out and just go for another ride real quick. But you know, often there's 7-8 weeks between test rides. And honestly, I sort of forget whether this was a lot better or incrementally better. So I've noticed that my hands are just starting to get a little cold. Remember how to turn. Alright, I think I just turned on the heated grips on this thing. You know, I had these installed and then only got to use them for a couple of weeks, it felt. I remain torn about the advantages of a windscreen. I have spent so much money testing and returning in some cases these things, and I really wanted them if I ever took a longer trip. But with all the head, even slight head buffeting, after, you know, 2 hours of that, it might just be easier to keep it on your chest. You know, they say to measure and basically have the top of the windscreen at your nose level so you can see over it. And every time I get one, I feel like I didn't do a good job. Like it's too low. But I don't like it when it's so tall I have to look through it. What do you guys think about windscreens? Do you like them? You know, the cruiser style screens are a lot different than sport bikes, I mean. I meant to... Sport bike screens are a lot different than the cruiser style. I've never owned a sport bike. Curious what you guys think, especially if you're on cruisers. Do you ride with a screen or not? So I've got these heated grips on level 5, and man, they're definitely working. I remember last season when, during the winter, I think anything hotter than about 6 felt so hot. And now these gloves are not the warmest. They're comfortable, but the tops of my hands still are getting a little cold. I think I'd transition to my heated gloves if it got below about 50. I almost feel like I need to make a spreadsheet to remember all of that so that I have the right gear with me or to maybe switch my gear and my bags over from summer to kind of cooler weather gear to always have stuff with me. I think I'm gonna miss out on that left turn up there, I bet. Maybe not. Maybe they're gonna miss out. Oh, this lingering truck. What are you doing, man? Why do I always get caught behind that sort of individual? And I swear, we all could have made it through that light. He's still not paying attention. What are you braking for? We have a green light. Based on this brief experiment so far, and I guess I've been out, I don't know, 12, 15 minutes. The little boot liner is feeling good. And so is the jacket, so I'd probably buy those again. Oh, maybe this is it. Yeah, I think this is it. Alright guys, we're here at the ice house. I'm gonna go in, check it out.